In Red Sonja, Sonja would be impaled through the chest with a magical blade as a form of sacrifice. She would then be tossed into a pit of dead bodies where she would feel the cold embrace of death. But her body would be retrieved by Fa, a celestial acolyte, the same man who impaled her with the magical blade. As they retrieve Sonja's body, they bring her back to a village. They then strip her naked as Fa prepares a ritual to bring her back to life. As Fa chants the words of this ritual, Sonja would see visions. She would see people fighting in a shroud of flame. She would see a crow that takes shape in the form of Fa before Fa welcomes her back to the land of the living. As Sonja awakens and walks through the village, all the villagers bow before her as they have her weapons and armor at the ready. Sonja explains that she thought herself dead, but Fa used a magical blade that made Sonja appear as if she was dead. But unfortunately, he still had to impale her through the chest. He explains that the part of the knife that's still in her body must be returned to the altar to fully undo her death. As Fa explains to Sonja about the Celestial One, one of the acolytes approaches the Celestial One apologizing for Fa's betrayal. But Fa explains when the Celestial One came, he was given two options, life or death, and Fa chose to serve. He was a coward, and now he's trying to undo his mistake. Many people have fallen under the spell of the Celestial One, and they still love him in spite of his cruelties. But now, Sonja is going to put an end to that. Sonja departs with Fa's most trusted warriors, Mika, Kang, Solas, and Ozen. As they ride through the night, they talk about the legend of Red Sonja. When crossing a dam, Solas remarks that the dam was finished when she turned 15. It was her people that helped build the dam, but she explains that her people were not forced. They built it purely out of faith. Sonja takes note of that as they venture forth. Eventually, the group would come to rugged slopes where the horses could no longer continue, so they would have to proceed on foot. But elsewhere, this hooded figure that appears to be the Celestial would destroy a dam. Now, this dam would flood a group of primitive villagers as this hooded figure seems to be orchestrating a lot of trouble. But as Sonja and the group venture forth, they come to the altar of Zeta where they must return the blade that has been impaled in Sonja's chest. Now, Sonja removes the blade from her chest, but in the midst of the chaos, Solas beheads Mika and Kang. As it turns out, Solas was working for the Celestial One all along. But as she turns her blade on Sonja, Sonja impales her in the neck with the blade she pulled out of her chest. As Sonja collapses to the floor, Ozen returns the blade to the altar. As Ozen sprays water on Sonja, Sonja awakens, hitting Ozen with a fist to the face. He explains to Sonja that she used the blade to save him, but she almost died in the process by not completing the ritual. When asked what became of Mika and Kang, Ozen explains they're now deceased and their bodies have been laid to rest. Ozen and Sonja are forced to continue forward, just the two of them. They trek through the rain, but as they reach the forest, they're confronted by a group of tribesmen. To be continued.